Welcome to Screen to Speed, powered by INIT Esports. In this podcast, we dive into the journeys of remarkable individuals making waves in sim racing and bridging the virtual with the real. From the thrill of digital circuits to the roar of real life racetracks, we explore the passion, dedication, and innovation that drives the world of motorsports. We'll hear from athletes, creators, and pioneers sharing their stories, insights, and the powerful ways sim racing is connecting communities and creating pathways into motorsports. So buckle up, Screen to Speed starts now.
Hi everyone, welcome to INIT Talks. Happy to see you here. Hope you're doing well and hope you spend your new year in a good way. Welcome, we got today Lena Bee with us. She's a sim racer, cosplayer, and gaming sound designer. Welcome, Lena.
Hey, nice to be here. Hello guys, been a while.
Hello. Let's start with, I saw your last video on YouTube that you visited Thailand, and can you tell more about car culture right here? And I know that you also working on your project car, so let's start with this.
Yeah, sure. So I somehow dropped into the real car scene. Usually I was always around sim rigs and sim racing, but somehow I drifted into the actual car scene, into the tuning scene. I was always into cars, so ever since I was a kid, I grew up around this, especially the Thai car scene, right? Which I'm half Thai, so every year we went. There was this huge car scene, just happening. It evolved in front of my eyes, right? And as a kid, you take that in, and you're like, wow, that's crazy. Like, there's all the cool stuff, and I want to do that too one day. So I always came back from Thailand, and I told my friends, I was like, guys, you won't believe me. Like, there's like street racing happening on highways and stuff. And everyone's like, yeah, sure, like, whatever. They can't imagine very much. But yeah, so this year I actually took a camera with me, and I was like, I have to film this, I have to document this, because we all love racing and we all love motorsports, but I have a huge passion for cars, right? So I really wanted to capture the scene there, because I feel like no one really knows about Thailand car culture here. And yeah, it was quite a journey, because getting to know the people that take you to these like underground locations and meets was fairly difficult, but we just got lucky. We were so lucky that the first guy who was our Uber driver just happened to be I don't want to say street racer, because we have the wrong picture of it, but they build cars to race in locations that are quiet, right? And he just happened to be one of those people. So we were telling him about car culture and stuff, and he was like, oh, yes, I built this. And he was showing us his car, which was like a Mitsubishi Evo, completely like tuned. And yeah, this way we got into the underground car scene in Thailand, and we got to film it. So if you guys don't know it, it's on my YouTube. I'm starting to do more videos. Those that know me probably know me mostly from sim racing and Twitch, but I'm trying new things now as well. So it's...
Yeah, that's really cool. I've been to Thailand long time ago, didn't really see a lot of modded and cool cars here. But when I've been into Malaysia, which is not far away, I saw that even, people who's working in taxis, they got this
yeah,
little cute cars with the cool rims and, they with low suspension. It's really cool, like even on the streets, you see a lot of modded and tuning cars. It's really cool.
It's much easier there to express yourself in the car scene, but not just in the car scene. I feel like also as a person in fashion and stuff. I feel like Southeast Asia really likes to express themselves in certain ways, and it's a breath of fresh air if you come from places like here, I think. Where are you from, by the way, Love?
I'm from Kazakhstan, from Almaty. We got some car culture right here as well, but it's not really huge. But as we got a racing circuit right now, I hope it will grow from time to time. So we got a really cool BMW club here with a lot of classic BMWs and some modern ones as well. And I think we got Porsche Club also, and some people really like drift here. It's cool.
Drifting,
Yeah, drifting is really popular right here. So we got 2 drifting tracks. That's next to the Sokol International Circuit, which should work this summer already for some testing days and some stuff. And the other one, it's like 50 kilometers, 70 kilometers also from Almaty. That's a huge drift track, which people using for like competitions and for practice sessions as well. And so, yeah.
Nice. I don't know anything about Kazakhstan car culture, if I'm honest. So it's also really, I guess, an insight. I heard very.
It's really funny actually, because maybe 10 years ago we had only SUVs, like Land Cruiser Prado or something like this. That like the favorite car here for people, but right now I see a lot of smaller cars, a lot of Chinese cars, as we living next to China, and some people modding the Zeekr, for example. That's a Chinese top tier electric car, so they trying to boost like electric motors and all this stuff. It's really cool. So yeah, it's cool to see that right now in Almaty you can see different kind of cars and not only SUVs. I'm happy because I'm not a big fan of SUVs, to be honest.
I feel you. I think there are some, like a few expectations I have where I like SUVs, but mostly I agree with you, and it's not my thing as well.
I know that you got BMW first series. Can you tell me about plans for this project car? What do you want to do with it? And do you want to like race it on a racing track, or do you want to go to the car show with it?
Yeah, my plans are now to just repair it and have it working, because BMWs are notorious for just staying in the garage, right? But once it's back on running perfectly again, I do want to take it to the Nürburgring. So I do actually want to drive over the track. Currently, I'm putting on some proper tires, some better specs, because the ones that I have run right now, they're mostly just for show. And then I put on a new suspension. Depending on if I do it this year, I wanted to put on a downpipe, an intercooler, the typical BMW tunes, right? And just go for a bit more horsepower, and a tune. And then it's basically my dream car, because the 1 Series, the E82, is my dream car. There's the 1M, which is my absolute unaffordable dream car because it's so expensive. Mm-hmm. But the 135i just comes second, because it's the car before that. And I like the engine more. It's the N55. It has in my opinion, better sound, and it has more reliability. And I'm not rich, so I need a reliable car, so a reliable car. So yeah.
Yeah, it's really nice. I used to really like BMWs back in the days. I'm a big fan of E46 third series, and I really like the old 5th series, which is like E34, I think. But I'm not a big fan of modern BMWs, unfortunately, so they look a bit weird for me. So I really like the classic design, and I think the last BMW, which I really like, that's this first series BMW which I got. So yeah,
Yeah.
after this one, not a big fan of design, unfortunately.
Yeah,
Guys,
for
sorry.
me, it stops for me at the F series. I think that one was still all right. Not all of the models, but I think the F80, the F82, that was still really nice. The F Gen M3 and the M4 from that generation was also really nice. But I wouldn't say I'm not a fan of the new ones. They take time to get used to, I think. Like the new M2 looks interesting. I don't know. Maybe with the time they get normal, you know, because this was always the case with BMW. When the E46 came out, people were like, "Oh, what is this? It doesn't look anything like the E30." And now we love the E46. It's like a classic model. And I think this will repeat itself over and over. I think that's the same with the 5 Series from the E generation, the late E generation. When it came out, people were like, "Oh my god, it's ugly," and Top Gear was like, "Oh, it's the worst looking car ever." But now, like, I think like it's already 18 years old or something. People call it the best looking 5 Series. So I wonder how we will look back at the current generation BMWs, because we make fun of them now and they look very different, but I wonder how we look back at them in 15 years if we say, "Oh, that's a classic," you know? "Oh, with the big nose and the pig nose, that's a classic." You know?
Well, who
Yeah,
knows? Maybe,
I don't.
yeah.
Yeah, I think so, because they're really leaning far out of the window of their usual design, of their classic design. So it's very distinctive. I'm pretty sure that there will still people calling, because it just looks like a pig, I guess. It looks like a pig nose. So the car will always be known for that. But I'm pretty sure that it's like having a distinctive look. So I think give it 15 years, it will probably age all right. But I agree with you, because we are from a different generation. Those cars are just, the older cars also appear a bit more to me currently.
Yeah. So I kind of agree with you. Maybe in the future, like in 10 years, we're going to say like, wow, that's the most beautiful BMWs that we had in their history.
And then the BMWs that come out at that time, we're like, "Oh God, what are they doing?"
Yeah,
Go
yeah.
back to the other design. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah,
We're
I
going
wonder
to,
how they.
yeah, going to
I
make
wonder
new
how they're
jokes.
gonna.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. What are your favorite cars?
Oh, my favorite car. I think everybody knows that this is a Porsche 911. Absolutely my favorite.
Okay.
I really like.
Which one?
I think I really like old generation. The last one is really cool. My favorite is from 2007, something like this. I really like this. The body of the Porsche. It's really nice. And I'm a big fan of Targa. So it looks really, I know, classy and nice looking at the same time. I love it.
Nice. Nice. Are you driving a Porsche already? Perhaps.
No, unfortunately, no. But hopefully in the future, I'm going to take the
Yeah.
911 for a ride.
Nice. You were in motorsports, right?
Yes, I've been into racing. I was working as a coach on the racing track also after my racing career. Then I moved to sim racing. So that was like this. I raced some open wheelers. Before that, I did some karting, won 4 times championship of Kazakhstan. And then, unfortunately, I didn't continue my racing career just because they completely, so my team who sponsored me, they completely shut down the program here in Kazakhstan. And then, the COVID happened and all the stuff. So we just had to I started streaming at these days, and I started iRacing and full-time sim racing also. But I'm so happy that things went this way because streaming gave me a lot of new experience, which is makes me like a better person every day. And you just in streaming and in sim racing, you're growing every day, and you never stop. The same as you building your rig, you can stop this process. So I think,
It's a downward spiral, yeah.
yeah,
You always make something do. Yeah.
Yeah, true. So I know that you doing some cosplays and you also working as a gaming sound designer and you also sim racer and streamer. Can you tell me what was your like first activity which you started to do?
Um, so I always did cosplay. That
Hmm.
like is just I feel like that's such a like a separate part from everything else I do because that's like my everyone has something they like to do. Like some people like to go and I don't know, plant flowers or
Hmm.
something, right? Like you have like this peaceful thing that you do. For me, that was always preparing cosplays, your outfits, and I'm big into fashion, and that's also how I got into like cosplay and stuff. Because the fashion of anime and of I don't know games, I always loved, and I was like, I want to do this too, of course. And I saw other cosplayers like Imiru and everyone. I was like, yeah, I want to do this too, you know. And this is just a very separate thing from everything as like my wholly untouched like I always try and cosplay every week, right, or do something for that. But sim racing, I'm honest, I got into it super randomly. Like so I didn't even know I was sim racing. My dad, he had like a sim rig,
Hmm.
like not a sim rig, but like he had like this old thrustmaster, you know, like and I played on it as a kid. I didn't even know what it was, but he had this old Formula One game,
Hmm.
and I grew up around those things, I guess. And then my dad always tried to push me into liking cars and motorsports and stuff. And he also uh, so when the PlayStation One came out, he was like, ah, yeah, I'm gonna buy this so I can play Gran Turismo and you can play Spyro. But we ended up playing Gran Turismo together, right? So I got my first wheel like really, really early, but I don't think that was the sim racing we know nowadays, right? But it was more like arcade, right?
Hmm.
And then this like how I actually got into like normal sim racing for me was just through making liveries in Gran Turismo, you know. Like I just like making cars, like that was all. And then I wanted to show deliveries, so I just drove, and I guess I had a talent or something because
Hmm.
I got better fairly quick. And then I tried out because Gran Turismo was not really that like serious at sometimes. You just kept punting each other out and stuff. It was really dirty racing. So
Hmm.
it's like I want something more serious. And the most serious thing that was iRacing, right? And I actually tried it first, and I was like, wow, this is awful. It's like this is terrible. It was really bad at the start, so I didn't pick it up. Then I left it for like a month, and I came back, and I just drove.
Hmm.
And I was starting to feel like because I had a direct drive then, I was like, wow, this feels amazing, you know. And somehow I didn't stop anymore. It was like an addiction, you know.
Hmm.
Like you had these small rewards every time you were getting faster, and your rank was getting up, and you were. It, it just I didn't even like I don't know. It just came naturally for some reason, and all of a sudden, all the people came like Dan Suzuki, you, and
Hmm.
everyone was like all of a sudden around me. I was like, wow, there's like a whole community, and yeah, I actually did really love the time when I was, you know, regularly also streaming and driving and was having fun, you know. So
Yeah, it's really cool. Our racing community truly amazing. So when I started to stream, a lot of streamers started to support me with their rates, and a lot of
yeah,
people came to help, like with whatever, some settings, some maybe some tips on track and ovals, especially because I was completely noob in ovals when I started racing. Never tried this before. And I really like this category right now. Really like to do it from time to time. Can you tell me how was it for you to like develop your driving skills? Because I know you like over 4K iRating, which is quite high. So that's like top 3% of all iRacers. So yeah, I would like to know more about this.
I'll be honest, I was just driving.
Okay.
I really just like, I think I'm a person, like if I really have fun with something and I'm like fascinated, I want to get better at something, I just keep going. Like I cannot stop. But almost every game it's like you get hooked and you keep pushing yourself to get better. I feel like, and I work for a sim racing title, and what I will be saying is completely unbiased, right? But in my opinion, from all of the sim titles I've ever played in racing games, iRacing has always felt like I am connected to the car. You know, I know what it's gonna do. That's why it was so easy for me to just like, if you know what's gonna happen, if you know what's gonna happen if you go into the turn, if you know what to expect from the car, if you know what the tires are doing, if you know if the physics all make sense, then it's really easy, I think, easy, but it's easier to learn, you know. And yeah, that's why I think out of all of the sim racing titles, iRacing was just the most natural for me, because I really struggled when I tried ACC. I don't know if you ever.
Yeah, I'm with you in this. I think. I know.
It's much different, right? And all of a sudden it's like all of the cables are plugged in different cables connections, and I was like, this feels not familiar with me, so I struggled a bit more there. But on iRacing I really felt like it just all came sort of natural. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you in this. I think iRacing one of the best simulator for me right now, because of community, because of how you feel the car with force feedback, with how you see the track with your eyes on the monitor and all the stuff. I think that I was struggling with Sette Corsa Competizione a little bit. So when I tried some races in it after racing, I felt really weird, especially with brakes. And I don't really like that you really have to set up the tire pressure.
Yeah.
You know, pretty careful. So I don't really like this thing about ACC, and also performance on triple screen. So I had the 1080 Ti these days, and it was not really good for me. So racing was a lot better, smoother with FPS, with everything. But I think the closest simulator, so transition to Air Factor 2 went kind of smooth for me after racing. It feels really, really good, and quite close to what we got in iRacing. I think that was the easiest simulator transition for me. So yeah, but I agree with you about ACC. Just that's not my type of simulator, unfortunately. I know that many people
Unfortunately
like it.
too, because it's super pretty. It's like, it looks amazing. I
Yeah.
love everything about the game. It's just I hate that I suck at it. You know? I wish I was better at it. So I really tried it, but I think once you figured it out, I'm pretty sure it's like every other sim. So yeah.
Yeah, true. What's your favorite series in iRacing, and what do you race more? And can you tell me also, what do you prefer, sprint races or endurance races?
My favorite series, actually, I think a lot of the, like, if my viewers from Twitch were still here, they would be able to tell this immediately, which is like TCR. I love TCR. I don't know why. It's I'm not even a fan of front wheel drive cars, but it was so fun because they were like low powered cars compared to GT3s, and you could just really race hard, right? I loved that. You could the cars didn't immediately explode, you know. It was really fun to just go door to door. And I actually like short races more. I am gonna be honest, I get too anxious during long races. They make me really anxious, like especially if it's with a team. then I don't want to let the teammates hang. It feels like a big responsibility. Like if you mess up, you ruined it for everyone. So yeah. So I enjoyed the shorter races a bit more. So
Okay, I think that from my side, I enjoy both. So I really like to do sprint races and endurances because here's different strategies in endurance races. So you just have to save fuel, you have to bring the car in one piece. So it's really cool for me. I really like it. Favorite series, I think everybody knows that this is a Porsche Cup for me, but I do like TCR because we did some community races with TCR, and I really like this feeling when you break in the back sliding a little bit.
Yeah, the back slides into the apex. It's a really nice feeling.
Yeah, it's really cool, and you just go in sliding with four wheels into the apex, and then just go on throttle and car straight to the exit, and it's really cool. So I really like. I think the TCR is a really fun series, and I really like that in iRacing we got different series and different categories, so you can jump to like front wheel drive cars, you can drive to the cars without traction and ABS, you can drive GT3s, you can go to ovals, do some rallycross and all the stuff. It's nice.
I think the camera disappeared on stream, but I'm still there in Teams.
Yeah, I will check. Wait a moment, guys.
Okay. Hello, Kash, by the way. Oh. Slightly technical issues.
Yeah, are you part of the sim racing team right now or not? Or you just like racing on your own?
Usually I just like to race on my own with my friends, and then we just choose a silly name for a team and we sign up for races on the weekends sometimes, or events. It was back briefly. It's not on my side, right? Or
yeah, that's on my side. No worries. All good.
But yeah, I think the most, like, I was in a few teams. I guess the team that was the most serious was RSR. I guess they were taking things very serious. And oh god, my ex-teammates are probably really disappointed in not being able to name all of the team names, but I was in quite a few teams, but like I said, like, long endurance races were never my thing. I never wanted to have the responsibility of crashing everyone. So, but if it works, it feels like very fulfilling. Like, I can get why people like to do it, especially with the team together. If you get to the finish line after 2 to 4 hours, it's really fulfilling.
That's great, yeah. So I've been a part of Olympus Sports a long time, and it's really funny because we started team with like 2-3 people only, and right now we got a lot of people in the team. I don't know all of them. So it's really cool how teams growing and overall community in racing growing as well. So can you tell me more about gaming sound design, which you're doing, and how long are you in this industry, and what do you like the most about it?
Okay, so of course I cannot say things in detail because, well, NDA, right? So I can't really get into details of things, but I am working well, I'm part of a team that works on a sim racing title, and we get to record sounds, which is a really nice experience if you get to see certain cars you've never seen before this close, and you get to touch them and you get to work with them, which is really cool. You get to know the teams and stuff. It's always really I'm really fortunate to be able to work in a field where I have actual like personal interests in, right? Um, Honestly, I never thought I was gonna end up in the game development space because I was more so in the overall audio space. But when the opportunity opened up for me, since I love motorsports, since I love sim racing, sure, I took the. It was basically right after university, right? And the slot was open, so I was like, why not? You know, and I got the chance to work along really professional people and learn some stuff. It's a huge stress sometimes because working in game development in 2025 in general is very stressful because yeah, it's different times now, right? Games, they do ship way too early in a way too early state. People get to test them. You don't always have to expect constructive criticism. It's gamers, like you get a very, very unfiltered criticism, but you'll definitely learn to deal with it. And I think this entire job also made me stronger as a person because if you are like you are just part of this entire project that constantly stands in the light of a lot of things, right? Like if you like any game that's in an early state and releases like that, and things are not really that finished, there's always this feedback that comes in. And if this is your first title that you work on in game development, it's overwhelming at first. Like, you have to imagine this, like it's not you're just part of it, but all of these people talk about this and you're just on this ship. And it's very overwhelming at first, but you start to really get tough skin, you know. And I feel like with everything I do, if it's cosplay, because you can also imagine that being a cosplayer is the same thing, right? You put yourself out there and people are just gonna say things. You know this as a streamer as well, right? Like when you start first, you have like you don't have that tough skin yet, right? And I feel like over the last year I really got some tough skin from all of the things that I did. If it was cosplaying, if it was game development and getting used to how things go there, you know. So it's huge, like I'm experiencing a huge character development arc, you know. So, yeah.
Yeah, I know that you know, you're gaining experience. You're also feeling more confident and comfortable in the in job where you're working, and with more experience, you just like feeling better. So when I started streaming, I also was really shy. I was, you know, getting nervous on the stream usually, but right now it's like natural for me, and I really like to communicate with community and also racing in the same time. And so speaking of this, how's for you to balance with racing and talking at the same time on the stream, and how is it to balance with also being a cosplayer and game sound designer?
I am really bad with talking and racing. This is why I actually didn't like streaming and racing at first, because I kept performing worse. I don't know if you'd experienced the same. By now you're probably natural at it, but at the start it was really difficult for me. I would end up way worse than if I was just racing by myself, right? But I guess I've gotten better at it, but I keep crashing sometimes if I re-chat and do stupid stuff, like the typical streamer stuff that we get then called out for on YouTube, you know, when we end up in those compilations and do something stupid. But yeah, those things happen sometimes, you know. So I was not really that good at it, but I got better at it. And balancing all things together, I guess. It's also a reason why I don't sim race that much. I'm pretty sure you can imagine that if you work, like if this is your work, you work on a title that after 8, 9, 10 hours of work the day, you don't want to sit in the rig and play the other sim racing titles. So I like to have a dynamic currently. So after I'm done with work, I like to cosplay, or I like to work on my car or go for a ride, So I like to have some sort of dynamic, because otherwise I feel like, and that's with anything, you burn yourself out,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
When a lot of stuff running around you, yeah, it's really hard
Yeah.
to balance all these things around. And I understand you. That's the reason why we didn't see you streaming and racing long time. But hopefully you're going to have more free time, so we'll see you once again on Twitch.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. I just got access back to my Twitch as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I lost access to my Twitch account because the old phone number. So I had a phone, and it was set up a 2-step verification, and I got a new contract, and the person from the phone contract thingy, he was like, yeah, we can take your new phone number. It's not a problem. And right before I went to Thailand, it didn't work, and I lost my phone number. So I lost everything that was connected to the 2-step verification.
Oh, no.
I was so mad. Yeah, including my bank. And you're like in a different country, right? I hate this guy. I swear to God, this guy. Yeah, but I will be back definitely streaming. I take it easy with sim racing. I don't think I will ever try and be super competitive and put in 6 hours of practice again. I just try and enjoy, like.
So
Yeah.
you would like to have more relaxing sim racing, I guess. So.
Yeah, relaxing, like as relaxing as it can be, But yeah, just not take it. I try and not take it too serious, because I'm pretty sure, like, you know it yourself, like, we are just competitive people when we race, and it can sometimes be consuming the fun, I feel like, especially when you're getting too competitive. So I just like to keep it fun, I hope, and then see where that goes. And I missed so much stuff on iRacing. You guys have so many new cars, you have so many new things.
Yeah, I don't know if you try rain in iRacing. We got this right now.
Not yet, but I saw it and I was like, oh God, that looks painful. It's going to be fun for around a week, and then everyone's going to be worried about their rank, right?
I know it's it's really fun. I really like rain races with Formula 1 600. It feels really good on track in the rain conditions. Porsche Cup also really fun, especially when people just starting to rush. They just fail their break-ins, and you gain a lot of positions. But most of the time, I was surprised that races kind of clean and nice in rain. So just people trying to be really cautious and careful on track. It's
Really?
nice to see. Yeah.
I thought it was going to be that rain would be there, and for a week everyone loves rain, and after a week everyone's like, oh no, my rating, I'm not going to drive. So the what's it called, SOF goes lower. I was expecting it to be more like that, but it's good to hear that people actually enjoy it. So
yeah, I think people enjoy it, and also not having rain like every week. In some series, it just from time to time. I think it just connected to the real life weather as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So it's like, that's so cool. So of the location, you have the actual. Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, it's
Nice.
really cool. And we got the series which got rain all weeks in iRacing. I think it's with Ferrari GT3. But yeah, other series like Porsche Cup, I think previous season we had like 2-3 weeks with rain. There was Red Bull Ring, Suzuka, and I think another one track. Rest of the race has been with the sunny and good weather. So yeah, just people who don't like rain and they got no clue how to race in it, they just can skip a few weeks and still gain some points to championship. So it's really cool because some people were joking about that when iRacing added the day switching. Here been all sunset races every time for the like a few months or so. So people been joking that it's going to be like in all series we will have rain whole months or two, but that didn't happen like this. So yeah, everybody been scared about this.
Yeah, I remember people were so hyped for rain. That's when I was still playing. Every time they did a stream or something, the chat was going like, "Oh, now they're gonna reveal like surprise rain in Daytona 24 hours or something." And I was like there was actual conspiracy that this was gonna happen. I was like, I was hoping like hopefully they do this. That would actually be super cool, but sadly that never happened. So iRacing have wasted their chance there to make the coolest I guess release of the rain, just randomly make it happen during like a big event, right? That would have been so cool. But yeah, I've seen some videos about how you guys have like the dry line and the wet lines and the puddles and stuff, and they like form really realistically. So I think because I want to go to the Nordschleife this year, I might just give it a try, I guess. Is it the updated version of the Nordschleife? Do you know? Like the...
I think so. That not sure if they're planning to update it. The last track which they updated was Spa-Francorchamps, so it's updated right now. Actually, the newest version we got in iRacing. It's really cool. Also speaking about Nordschleife and all this practice, we got also BMW M2. You can try it. So I think it should be quite close to your car with feelings.
Oh yeah, I mean,
yeah.
I mean, there's still quite some difference. But yeah, I guess from the, which one is it? It's the first generation M2, right? So it might even have the similar engine inside the N55.
Yes, I think so. I think so.
Yeah, so that's cool. No, I think, but I don't know which engine it has, but yeah, I will definitely try it out. Did you try the M2s? Are they fun?
Yes, I tried. We did a lot of races during week 14th because we had week 14th this time. It was really fun because we've been racing at Spa, and here's a cool draft. All cars are really close to each other, and it's bring a lot of fun and a lot of cool fights. And compared to GR86 and MX5, this car is more predictable for me. So it's less on the theory. It's really predictable when it's starting to lose the rear. You can catch it really easily. So yeah, I really like this car. And yeah, guys, if you start in iRacing, I highly recommend to try this car. This is free car in iRacing. This is also cool.
Nice. Did you like the GR86?
Oh, not
Doesn't
really.
sound like you.
You know, I'm struggling with MX5 and GR86 because this car feels really weird for me. So I don't know how to balance it for the corner, how to make it, work on like 100%, let's say like this. So it's for me either, it's like I'm loading tires on like 60%, or I'm just overloading them and, car doing a really weird thing. So I just really can't find the balance on this car. I know why. Speaking about the MX5 is trying to kill you, especially with advanced set from iRacing. It's just really tricky with the cold tires. We've been doing some community races recently, and I've been struggling with the MX5. So yeah, when I jumped to iRacing, I tried to get out of MX5 as soon as possible, and then I just started to do some formulas. So yeah, it's still the same. I don't know why, but I'm not a big fan of this cars.
Do you think it's because you've raced open wheelers in real life that much? That maybe you went from MX5, you were like, this is not for me, and then immediately went to open wheelers and it feels just more natural to you?
Well, I don't know. Maybe open wheeler is more natural for me because I got like more experience with them. So I never drove any road cars on racing track before. So tried some Porsche 911 on track, and also in W Series selection event we had Porsche Cayman GTS. Been driving the small track in Austria, but just maybe lack of experience or something. But right now I'm quite experienced in Porsche Cup series. I'm doing really good lap times in Porsche Cup, and I understand car and how it handles for the corners. And I still don't know what to do with MX-5 really.
I don't understand Porsche Cup. I've never understood it. The car is very. You need to drive it in such a special way. I feel like, especially now. Before, I remember it was very. It wanted to kill you on throttle all the time if you were giving it too much throttle, and if you had a tiny bit of slip, you just die. Like it was just over. But now I feel like when I tried them again, they are just very understeery. I don't know if it's still the same. If
Yeah,
I was just
on cold tires it's a little bit understeery right now, but when you warm up tires and temperatures and tire pressure get in normal, absolutely no issues with it. So it has a really good grip, even on the throttle. Yeah, sometimes you can slide a little bit and overheat the back, and you're going to have some issues with tires for a couple of corners. But you can switch the brake bias, play with it just to get back the tire pressure into normal, and everything will be fine. But yeah, cold tires are like unpredictable, so you need time to get used to this. You need 2 laps to warm up tires on Porsche Cup, and then you're going to feel okay with it. And right now it's more friendly with brakes, so it's harder to look up wheels on it. So overall, it's really fun series. And compared to GT3s, people, because we don't have traction, we don't have ABS system, in my opinion, Porsche Cup series more cleaner and, just better racing compared to GT3s. Recently, I had a GT3 race at Monza, like that was maybe 3-4 weeks ago or something like this. And, guys crashed after Lesmo before Ascari on a straight line. I was like, how you did this?
But so I haven't raced for so long. Where are you now in terms of iRating?
So I just I get 5K and now drop to 4.6, 4.7, something like this.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
yeah, I tried my best. I was almost at 5K. I was at 4,800 something. It's getting almost to 5K, and then Road Atlanta happened. I remember this very vivid, like very clearly. And I'm good at hot lapping Road Atlanta, but I'm terrible at keeping my tires in a good condition. So at the last few laps in the GT4, I was leading the race every time, and I was just grinding. I was just farming every goddamn time in that section when you go the spiral down section, this what the downhill section, right? This you go right, you stay on the right side, and then the apex is on the inside, and then you really fly out, and then there's the wall, right? There's this wall where if you go too far, you go into the wall. But I already died every time clipping this curb on the inside, and my setup was just not set up correctly for the car. Every time I died in the last lap. So I went from 4,800 iRating to 4,600 iRating to 4,400 iRating. And at some point I was like, I guess it's just not supposed to be to get to 5K this time. Yeah, that's the last attempt that I had. And then another track I'm really good at, I guess, and a combination I'm also pretty good at is when the Ferrari, what is it called? The Ferrari Challenge?
Yeah,
was it?
Ferrari Challenge, correct.
Yeah. that one was really fun at Manicourt. I don't know how to pronounce it. My French friends will be angry, but that one was always super fun. But also, it's just a hot lapping track. So all of these like hot lapping track, I was always really good at, and yeah, the ones where you have to actually really race, I was not that good at. I was just good at hot lapping, I guess. Yeah, but yeah, that was also really fun. A really fun car, the 488. I really enjoyed it. People didn't like it, especially the Ferrari challenge. I remember everyone said the Ferrari challenge setup was not good. I liked it. I don't know.
Yeah, it was, in my opinion, a bit understeery, but I think you can get used to this, and you can make the car driving in the way how you want it to drive it. So usually, I'm just saying, like, I don't have enough skills for this setup. Like I need
It's a
more.
weird setup.
Yeah, it's weird. It's just different, compared to what we get used to in GT3s in open sets, for example. Yeah.
But what I felt like, and I think that was the intent behind it. Maybe, I'm not sure. But when I drove it, it was so difficult. But when you got good at it, and you then went into the normal GT3, it was super easy to drive. Just a good setup with like a proper setup. But yeah, so for me it was easier to go to, like, I liked starting with the Ferrari Fix challenge, and then when I got into what was it? There's like two series, right? One is IMSA and one is the VRS, yeah.
Yeah.
And when I got into VRS, it was actually much easier for me to just drive it a normal setup. And I was still competitive, but only in a Ferrari. No other car. Because I knew it, so...
Yeah, usually it's really good when you start in GT3s, just stick with one car because you get used to it, and you just need to adapt to the tracks, and don't spend time to switch around cars. I think that's a good thing. Yeah. Can you tell me what is your plans for social medias? I know that you got 65,000 followers on Instagram, and I saw that you doing some videos for YouTube. So what are your plans for the future in social medias?
Well, a big focus right now is on YouTube. I really like making long form content, and Instagram is the same stuff like always. I just make cosplay and fashion and stuff like that. I also like to mix those things up sometimes. Like I do really enjoy streaming, cosplaying, sim racing, and cosplaying, even if it was a bit goofy, but it was still really fun with the community. Yeah, things like this. Like I like to combine. So I think my community is a mix of people who enjoy anime, who enjoy Japanese cars, drifting, and cars in general. And yeah, so that's basically who I try to cater to, right? So I try to make these long form videos with this with my influence of my hobbies and things. Like even in the last Thailand video, we still went into the shopping mall. So I guess for the normal car guy to be sitting like in front of a video, he's like thinking he's gonna see like cars and exhaust flames and stuff, and then I take them to like the gacha place and the shopping mall first, and it's different, I like to just make my own content sort of, and I really don't care if what's trending right now is this or that, I just like to do what I do, and I'm a believer that if you do something with a passion, it will find its way, right?
That's true.
Yeah.
I think
Especially,
if you like to do what you like to do, then you can find people who like the same stuff which you enjoy. So yeah.
Exactly, yeah. And then people will also see that you're having fun. And I feel like with sim racing, like as much as I love sim racing, but when you only stream it, and you don't do anything other than sim racing all the time, for me that was just like, it was not everything I wanted to do, you know. There was like, I still want to come back to sim racing for sure. I also want to practice Nordschleife on the sim. I want to see how much the sim actually can prepare me, you know, for it, or how much it can compare. I mean, of course, on iRacing, I get to drive a race car. It's going to be much different than my car, right? But still, is like, I'm pretty sure that I have a big advantage already. The moment I get on track, I know much more than someone who never drove on a sim or something before, you know? So, and I'm also super happy to be documenting the entire process on YouTube, basically. So that's also something I want to do. And then, yeah, I try and either go or both places. I want to go back to Thailand this year, and I might stop in Japan on the way, and then also film something about Japanese car culture. Yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask you, like, if you're planning to go to Japan because you really like anime, you're doing some cosplay, and also I think car culture in Japan is just huge with a lot of different tuning, a lot of different, styles and all the stuff. It's going to be really interesting to watch on your YouTube. So when you get the chance to get into Japan.
Yeah, I wanted to go always, but since so like it's so Asian culture, I grew up with it, right? So like cosplay or stuff like that, like Japanese influences or like Japanese pop culture influences like the entirety of Asia, right? You have like everything is inspired by Japanese pop culture or Japanese car culture as well, right? Because the like but I grew up with it, but every time I get the chance to go to Asia, I love Thailand so much because it's my home, right? It's also my home that I don't leave. Like I always plan to go to Japan. I can't leave. I can only recommend if someone has never gone to Thailand. It's paradise. Like, and it's just really nice. You have Bangkok with these like skylines and modern buildings, and you're surrounded by this gigantic city. But then there's palm trees and beaches, you know, and I just love it. So, but this year I try for sure to make a stop at Japan, and I'm going to be excited to also see Japanese culture and how it really is, because I only experience it on the internet, right? So I have no idea what to expect actually. So I wonder. I heard a lot of things from my friends that are from Japan and stories, but it's always different if you go, I guess. You know, it's always going to be a bit different from what you've seen on the internet, from what you've got told from your friends. I'm really excited to see it for the first time. Yeah.
Yeah, I think when you will go in real life to whatever places, you gaining your own experience. So this is not something you can take from internet or something like this.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and speaking about Asia and like Thailand, Malaysia, I think if someone got opportunity to go to these countries ever, they just have to go here because it's a different culture and it's nice to see for experience. And truly, Kuala Lumpur, Bangkok, so beautiful cities with big skyscrapers. It's just amazing, absolutely. So real like Kuala Lumpur. I've been to Malaysia 8 times because I race in the Asia Cup Series in Formula BMW. So I really like this country.
But didn't that get super hot in the car? Malaysia has also.
Yeah, it was really hot. We had like 58 Celsius in the cockpit of Formula, so we had 34 outside. It was really hot. But I still enjoy racing here. Sepang is a great track. I'm still waiting till it's going to be in iRacing. I heard some rumors about this, and yeah, just food is amazing. People really friendly, and just I'm a big fan of Asian countries. They're really nice.
Yeah. Where have you where have you already been continent wise? Um, where have you traveled already? Like, have you been on all continents in the world already, or?
No. I just I've been on my continent. Unfortunately, I didn't visit United States or Canada. But in the future, I'm planning to do this because I got like a lot of friends living in United States, and also one of my dream is to try maybe some street stock on oval track. That would be great. Because
Yeah.
iRacing really pushed me into the ovals.
Into oval.
Yeah. So now that's my little dream to try oval car in real life. That will be great. But I've been to Austria, I've been to China, Thailand, Malaysia, Turkey. So yeah, quite a lot of countries. But I'm planning to visit United States because this is place which I have to visit because iRacing is from United States, and most of my community from United States also. I really
Yeah.
would love to see their culture and their people also.
Yeah. Fun fact: it's like the Arkham Menards car. I don't know which one it was,
Mhm.
but the V8 is one of the best sounding race cars I've ever heard. In general, NASCARs just sound like absolute forces of nature. I love it.
Yeah,
I love it. Especially if they are all in one pack and they fly by, it's insane. Yeah.
that's true. So before we wrap up, can you give an advice to girls who want to go into the like car culture, maybe tuning their car, and they want to jump into some racing as well? So what can you tell for them?
Just do what you like. If you want to modify a Peugeot 106 or something, just do it. I feel like the car culture is about expressing yourself. It's turning into a very toxic place, I think, in the West here. It's turning into like, oh, this isn't an M car, or oh, don't care. Just do it for what you really want to do, and if it's something that you really want to get into, don't shy away from doing it. I really encourage you to go and try and just express yourself through, you know, your car or whatever you want to do. I think it's really important that people just don't like just do what you want to do, and don't listen to the internet. Don't listen to the cool people that say like, no, you have to do this or that if you want to try out something. And yeah, don't just do yourself. That's my tip.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the best advice, I think. Many people in sim
Yeah.
racing also go on to tell that, oh, you have to drive like dirt drive wheelbase, you have to have really, I know, expensive equipment to be competitive. So yeah, I would like to say that with any equipment you can be competitive, and you just need to have fun in it, and doesn't matter what you're doing. The main thing is to have fun. So guys, here's links to social medias of Lena Bee. So be sure that you follow her on Instagram, on Twitch also, and on YouTube channel for upcoming videos. Lena, thank you so much for being here with us. It was
Yeah.
awesome. Thank you so much. Yeah, guys, we'll see you next time. Bye.
Thank you for having me. Bye bye.
INIT Esports focuses on sim racing events and digital tournaments. They bring esports content to fans and sponsorship opportunities to brands while maximizing audience reach across multiple sports, industries, and platforms. INIT Esports is a woman led company where diversity, equity, inclusion, and accessibility is in their DNA. And their platform aims to combat bullying and cheating to help make the esports world as safe and fair as possible. To learn more, be sure to log on to www.initesports.gg or follow them on social media at Init Esports. Join their Discord, check out their YouTube channel, or follow their live content via Twitch.
This episode has been brought to you by Grand Touring Motorsports as part of our Motoring Podcast Network. For more episodes like this, tune in each week for more exciting and educational content from organizations like the Exotic Car Marketplace, the Motoring Historian, Break Fix, and many others. If you'd like to support Grand Touring Motorsports and the Motoring Podcast Network, sign up for one of our many sponsorship tiers at www.patreon.com/GT Motorsports. Please note that the content, opinions, and materials presented and expressed in this episode are those of its creator, and this episode has been published with their consent. If you have any inquiries about this program, please contact the creators of this episode via email or social media as mentioned in the episode.